have this thing where if I accidentally hit the wrong button and everything went haywire. But this has happened a number of times, and I totally apologize for that. Goodbye last night was not ideal in any way. We've been working hard, or I've been working hard together with Danielle out in the desert, and we are experiencing, as kind of we're just getting pretty used to it, but the chemtrails just keep rolling on, and it is. I mean, anybody got a heat-seeking missile? I mean, I don't know what to do. I feel there's nothing we can do. Although I'm lucky enough to live in Mojave County, and we have a representative for the fourth district in Mojave County, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what his title is, but a gentleman named Don Martin. I just got off the phone with him. I left him a message saying that the chemtrails have just got to stop. It's just, I don't know what to do about it. I thought to myself earlier, why don't I just call 911 and say that there's a guy up there. There's a bunch of guys up there that are trying to kill me. It's an emergency. Can you get here right away with a heat-seeking missile or some kind of defense plan to help us out? Hey, Rockstar, M5542. So yeah. So that's it, man. I mean, me and Dave Schmitz and I are very and Brian too, all of us are very concerned about the situation with the chemtrails. It's disgusting. What do we do? I don't know. I heard that they passed laws in Tennessee and Florida, and it still continued. So they're obviously, these people are above the law to some degree. Are we coming to a gigantic crescendo, a moment in time? Excuse me. Just had to unleash the honey from the jar. It, are we reaching a crescendo moment? Japan is there. The bond market is under threat. The dollar, the fiat dollar, is in trouble. They're printing money like crazy. The stock market went down. Crypto is down outrageously. Silver is still rocketing up, with gold and copper. A couple of weeks ago, I said, "Hey guys, go buy some copper," and I bought some copper, and now it's a real commodity now. It's not just something you find in Home Depot. So it seems to me, and with the Davos meeting tomorrow, that President Trump is going to Davos to meet with these creepazoids. Iran, the military is very close to Iran. The big aircraft, I think it's the Abraham Lincoln, a big aircraft carrier, and a bunch of ships are coming into Iran. Now, some people are saying that the whole Iran scare was just to have them move their assets, to have the Iranian creepazoids move, the really the deep state move their assets around, and so they could be tracked, so they could be we could confiscate their, slow down the money trail. The money trail with the chemtrails, I don't know. I know there are corporations that are into geoengineering, and they should be alert. They should be stopped. I don't know how. This is spiritual bean coffee. What am I drinking today, Scott?
Same.
Same.
To put butter and stuff.
Skywalker. Okay. Here,
Yeah,
baby.
you can take some.
I can take some.
Drink.
Thanks. I'm trying not to slurp because somebody said you're slurping on. I was like, so what?
I need more room than that.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Okay, but I think we're reaching a kind of a crescendo moment. With Iran, with Greenland, also everything. The globalists are, and the good guys are in a position. I think this has been a setup for the whole of 2025 was kind of a setup, and now we're about to watch the pins being knocked down by the master bowler and his cohorts in the Trump administration. I think things are really going to go down soon. It feels that way to me. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but the chemtrails are at the forefront of my thinking, because here I am out in this beautiful remote area, no neighbors, blue sky, mountains everywhere, beautiful scenery, and I have to look at the chemtrails. Where are the big? There were big, fluffy clouds a couple of weeks ago when the government shut down. That I noticed. But anyway, I also know. I also want to apologize. We're broadcasting early because I'm going to a meeting of the Republic. So the Republic in Mojave County, at least, is meeting. If you haven't joined the Republic, let me just share that information with everybody again. Let's see, where did that go? Excuse me. The republicforusa.org. You can go on that site and you can sign up. You can volunteer. There are like three dots in the upper left hand corner, which should be pressed. And I think you have to press that in order. I tried it myself and I couldn't do it, but Daniela was able to do it for me. And hence I got a hold of the people. Oh, that's delicious. Thank you, baby. And so I'm going to a meeting at 7 o'clock. So I'll only be on for another hour and 9 minutes. Just want to see how everyone's doing. Let me just check in with the peeps. Sharon, the party queen, you're doing good. God bless you. Chemic. So I contacted this man at Dave Schmitz from Keto Carnivore, said his wife had suggested we call this a man named Don Martin, who called me back, was just so gracious, and he did not make fun of me like Katie Hobbs did. Katie Hobbs came, I sent them a thing like, what's with the chemtrails, and they're like, oh, they're not chemtrails, they're contrails. I'm like, how stupid do you think we are, Katie? You blithering. Anyway, I don't want to get off because God only knows how the AI forces the little raisinets inside of the YouTube channel. They'll be like, oh, we don't want that to happen, right? We don't want to get the raisinets. I had a friend, a cohort in the Department of Education, and he said that whenever administrators would talk to him, that he imagined they were like little raisinette people, because they're like, kind of that the Charlie the Charlie Brown thing, it's like the grown ups. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's the way that when administrators were constantly after me in the Department of Ed, that's kind of like how it sounded to me. You're watching from the UK. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Murphy. God bless you, and thank you for joining our family. We really have a family here. We're kind of a family of people who are on the forefront of the Q information and of the new consciousness and of the Great Awakening. Many of us are kind of familyless. We've been ostracized from our families. We've lost our jobs, this kind of thing, and we meet every day. We hang together. I pretend to like give sort of a newscast, and we're if you're new to this like mindset, everyone on the chat knows exactly what I know, if not more. So we're all here together to get through this great awakening process. But we don't think of it as we don't look at the we don't we're not in the fear space. We don't sit here and talk about, oh my gosh, I mean, the chemtrails we're complaining about because we don't really know how to deal with it. I mean, should we just call 911 and say, they're trying to kill me, get up here right away? You know, I don't know. I don't know. But I spoke to this very gracious councilman, Don Martin in Mojave County, and he was very sympathetic. He said the government. He said he was in the army, and in basic training they sprayed him with Agent Orange as an experiment. So he's fully aware that the government, they're not these angels in white. In fact, they're more like devils in red. These people are sick. And so I don't know. I don't know if Trump is going tomorrow to 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 receive the surrender, the white flags from the world, from the, where's it, the world, whatever it is, the big shots, the Klaus Schwabs and these idiots that want to tell us how we should live and what we should do. Hey, thanks, Murphy. But man, you're always welcome here. I do this every day. Timing is kind of rough because I'm what
There, the WEF.
World Economic Forum. Thanks, baby.
No, I mean
What?
read it.
Oh, has been busted for admitting they are poisoning your food supply and the air you breathe. Okay, so this is World Economic Forum elites openly admit their chemicals are being sprayed into the atmosphere to cool the planet and even onto the food supply. One insider admits most of these operations are handled by the military, carried out quietly and behind closed doors. Well, they're not so quiet, and they're not behind closed doors. They're right in the sky. If you just look up, and I live, yeah. So Murphy, I left my partner and I, Danielle, we left New York because of the chemtrails. I remember, this is so interesting because I remember walking on the boardwalk in Queens where we lived. We lived in Far Rockaway, right on the ocean. And I marveled at Daniela. She was just fascinated. With the chemtrails. She's like, "There's another one. There's another one." I was like, "Why is she talking about this all?" It just seemed like another thing, like, but I understand now, and that her fascination with it and an upsetness with it is continues to this day. We are just livid. Here we are living. I live off grid. I live in the mountains of Arizona. We bought a property up here because frankly I cannot bear I cannot bear the architecture of the $300,000, $400,000 houses. I wouldn't even have qualified to have been able to get a house like that or even rent one. Renting was just as bad. So we saw a property for sale, 170 acres for 120 grand. At the time, I had a bunch of silver and gold, and so I traded it all in, and here we are. But unfortunately, we still have these chemtrails. We're about to get hit with a winter storm in East Texas this weekend. Is that from the chemtrails or is that? Yeah, thanks, Murphy, man. Anytime, but I really expected more inflow, but I'm constantly being shadow banned and removed from certain platforms. So I've had to duck and weave for many years now. I think I've been doing this for 9 years, almost every day. In the old days, I used to do it twice a day. But and a lot, hearing from more and more people that they like the sound of my voice because it puts them to sleep. So I'm also probably helping a lot of people getting their beauty rests. Same here in the UK with the daily chemtrails. It's oh, you're from the UK. It's outrageous. It's just outrageous. Yeah, we just had a visit from um what's our friend's name from England?
Casper.
Caspar from Quantum Bridge came. Caspar and Gary are they're like they do a broadcast called Quantum Bridge. They're like totally like the coolest podcasters that I mean the most well aligned to our thought stream. of anyone. I mean, they actually constantly listen to me. They knew more about me than I know about myself. But yeah, so we do have a connection to England. Hey, Jane Geist, Michelle, they're here in Australia. Yeah, it's just insane.
Mass arrest tonight.
Mass arrests, yeah. Okay, so Danielle is
What do you do?
oh, I don't know what happened. It says send a gift. Okay, so DHS Secretary Kristen Noem says mass arrests are expected tonight following the storming of the church involving Don Lemon and others. So I think this is kind of a pinnacle. We're kind of at a precipice. Economically, that's really the last thing that has to go. But the war is ongoing and it is immediate and it is pressing. And if this is the military, it just how could the military, it doesn't sound like well, for certainly it's not the white hat military, but what kind of collective military, global military. That could only be the deep state. Only the deep state creepazoid with their black sites and their advanced technology and all these things that have been plaguing us with bad food, bad medicine, bad air, bad water, bad money, bad information. These people are relentless evil and they worship Satan and they do satanic rituals, and war is one of their satanic rituals, which President Trump, he stopped 8 wars. I mean, can you imagine India and Pakistan? I mean, that, all these wars that he was it was Syria, I guess, and Cambodia. I don't, it's just, and yet he never got a Nobel Prize. And he said today in his press conference, he said, I don't know if any president has ever stopped one war, and he stopped 8. And he's not in the, it's such a biased world right now, but everyone is aligned in their sides. And now I think it's going to come to a kind of a controlled demolition. A demolition. I don't see. I think this is the fear event is coming, but the fear event will be, in my opinion, will be different for everyone. So for us, it'll just be like, hey, more of the same. Like we've been dealing with this for years. So we're just like these, we don't need to be woken up. We're already here. We're like we've been watching these creeps try to kill us with various means. This is a Holocaust. The chemtrails are literally a Holocaust, and I can say that because I'm a Yid. I mean, most non-Jews are not allowed to say the word Holocaust because they're going to be shamed by. I don't know why. A Holocaust is a Holocaust. I don't care who's in it, right? Do you have to be Jewish to have a Holocaust? No, this is a worldwide Holocaust that has taken place on many fronts. And those of us who are on this channel, we understand this, and we've been following this thought stream for years. But will the other people wake up? Doesn't really matter. It's just it. My opinion is it's up to each of us to just carry the banner into, we're all friends here, we're all frogs, we're all so we're digital warriors, and we're trying our best to spread the info. I had hoped that I would have been able to amplify to more diverse kinds of groups, but that I'm always being shadow banned. So it's, I do the best I can. I don't stop broadcasting because that's what I do. I don't get paid, but it's what I do. That and building a house in the desert. Oh, such good coffee. Wow. So Ian Bell, Awakened One. That's why no one wants to believe the truth. It's pure evil. Right. That is exactly right. Awakened One. People cannot. They are. They do not have the the intestinal fortitude to accept what is really taking place. I totally agree with that. Let's see if I can okay, I'm going to hide, but you should join the republicforusa.org. It's a great organization. But yeah, the evil is so sinister that it's it's nothing that a normal person can really deal with. Maybe that, well, I don't know what that makes us, but he's the best thing for patriot. Yeah, he's his own. That's it. In many sources, I've learned that in the end, evil destroys itself. I think Q even says, "Why get in the way of an enemy when they're destroying themselves?" They constantly try to unalive us. Yes, absolutely. I mean, the medicines, all this, but the fact of the matter is, a lot of us are still quite alive. I consider myself more alive now. I feel like this whole process has helped me eliminate fear. I mean, I lived in abject fear for my whole life, my whole adult life. Not as a child. As a child, I was just kind of like afraid of the world. I mean, I was just kind of very cautious, very quiet and shy. But as I got older and this, I was constantly like going like in this ping I was in this ping pong consciousness thing between I'm going, I was like, I was a hippie radical. I was, all these punk rocker, all these things. But then I would return and try to be like a pre med. I would go back and forth through I'd be a drug addict. And then I'd be like, a college, I'd go back to college. I couldn't. I'd get married. I'd try to live in a nice, normal way, and then suddenly I'd just be like. So I've been like ping ponging back most of my life. Probably a lot of you have had this experience where you're just like, I don't care what it takes. I'm going straight. I'm just going to be a normal guy, man. I'm gonna live in a house with a white picket fence and stay married and drink my beer on the weekends, and maintain some degree of sanity that way. And for me, it's a constant, like I was a New York City public school teacher for 20 years. I tried, and I was a Hasidic Yid. I was Orthodox for 25 years. I volunteered for that. I wasn't born into it. I was just like, I can't handle. I was living in Tennessee, a very smoking and drinking and eating mushrooms and living that kind of a life, going to rainbow gatherings and having experiences with members of the opposite persuasion sex, and then I was just like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to become Orthodox. So that's what I did. So for 25 years, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the religious life, the kind of knowing it's like Saturday is Shabbos, it's just like that's what I do. I follow the pack. I tried as hard as I could for 25 years. I was able to stay long enough to to wait for my son to leave the house. And then I was just like, hey, man, that's enough of this shit. I mean, no, not to diminish it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being Orthodox. It was wonderful to be around people that all they talked about was God. It was like, I love this. I love that. But when the COVID nightmare hit and I saw that everyone just surrendered to the deep state, I was just like, I can't hang out with these people. They're supposed to be free thinkers. They're supposed to be, so godly connected. And they're all saying, like, Ellie, don't you believe in God? I'm like, meaning that if something was going to hurt you, yeah, I understand that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to get on the train to Treblinka or go. It doesn't mean that I have to like get on the train to Auschwitz. And that's what, in my opinion, what we're dealing with some of the medical. I don't want to get thrown off of YouTube it would be 15 times for me. So I want to be cautious about what I say because I do enjoy being on YouTube is one of the channels I'm broadcasting on now. And it's very versatile. It's very clean. It's the YouTube channel is technologically very advanced. I'm hoping that X will come up to that. And Elon put out a thing today or recently about AI, about how the AI on X is seeking to do things in a different way. I'm not of the opinion that AI is inherently evil. I believe, kind of like Elon, that we are coming into an age where the AI is going to take care of the tedious details that the deep state swallows and chews on us with, the forms and the waiting on hold and the you know the mortgages and the loans and the credit cards. This it's all going. We're for sure heading into just law. But could you define normal? Yeah, I can't. I don't even know what that means anymore. I mean, I used to say that, like, you know, if you're normal, if you really think you're normal, you really got a problem. That kind of thing. Like, but yeah, what does normal mean? I don't know. I don't know. I've never been able to sustain like normalcy for more than 25 years. And I wasn't. I was still an outrageous. Yeah, it's still pretty outrageous. Even though I was Orthodox, I definitely stood out as my own person, which I think everyone should. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Awaken One, this a beautiful insight. I love this. Eventually they try to unalive us. Yeah. So yeah, so I can't define normal. I am going to take a second because I didn't really get to it last night to talk about the LifeWave patches just briefly. That I think this is an amazing technology. We we are now using the Eon patch, which reduces inflammation, both mental inflammation and physical inflammation. And I find myself jumping, basically jumping out of bed. In where I live in the mountains, it's cold at night. It doesn't drop down below freezing generally. I'm at 4,500 feet, not as high as Prescott, where it gets a lot colder. But I, in where I live, it could be really cold at night, and then in the morning it's very chilly, and then as the sun comes out, it suddenly just whoosh, turns into this beautiful warm place. And I've been working all day. It's so much fun. I've been digging and dragging lumber around, and we basically finished framing the well house today. Daniela and I, we put up all the rafters on this roof. So I built a triangular shaped well house with a square roof on top. Not no kind of like satanic. It's just it came to me in a flash. Build a square roof because for one reason, to for me to build a triangular roof would have been a even though I taught geometry, would have been a logistical nightmare. So I just said just make it square, just make two parallel boards 13 feet long, and then so I was able to make a pattern of the rafter. Once I made one, I could make I we made all the others, and they're all in place now. I put one piece of plywood up already, so it's just and we started. We're talking about expanding the garden, and we're putting a little like our version of a fence, which is cedar posts plucked, put into underground, and you have to take off all the bark around the cedar post, and then we brace them, and we make a wall out of these ponderosa pine boards. That's how we outline all our buildings: the house, the well house, the house for the well, for the water tank is which is we're building also, and the gardens. I have two gardens now. I have one up in the mountains where we live, and one down in the on the ridge of my canyon, of the mile that I own of canyon. I mean, pretty cool from a dude renting a little apartment in New York City to own 170 acres and be building a house. It's a dream come true for me. I'm really loving it. So let's but anyway, yeah, the chemtrails. I don't know. Call 911. Call anybody. we just have to just make as much noise. I'm of the personal belief that our consciousness rules, and that eventually these people will be shamed into submission or arrested and taken to Gitmo and promptly be shot for crimes against humanity, or hung if they want to get hung or they want to get shot. That's up to them. But being in the military is no excuse. Just following orders, that doesn't resonate with me. They're saying it's military. How is that possible? It has to be deep state military. There must be some kind of secret CIA, FBI, you know, force that hires these criminally insane pilots. Anyway, okay, so let's go to the thought stream for a moment, since my time is not. Oh, and I never did play okay, so let me just share with you. Yeah, let me, while I'm thinking about it, let me just share the life wave. If you are, wait, this is no, that's not the one I wanted. Let's see. Let me go here. If you want to try the LifeWave product, you could call Dr. Stacy. You could also call. You could call or email Daniela. She would love to sign you up under her, or any of my other friends that I speak of. But this is a technology that I'm wearing. This is actually Eon, which fights inflammation both internally and spiritually and mentally. So it's an amazing patch, and it really keeps me. I'm 70, almost 71, and I'm framing several buildings right now. I actually hung a 20-foot. I mean, anybody who knows lumber, I hung a 20-foot 2x6, which is not a huge piece of lumber, but I hey Wade, yeah. So I hung a 20-foot 2x6 that's going to be my second floor, which is 10 feet off the ground this morning. I'm very proud of that. 71. But it was a little scary, but I managed to pull it off. Uh, Gutsy in the chat today, yeah, Awakened One is good, man. So, but anyway, if you're struggling with any kind of health issues, or you just want to stay younger longer, get a hold of Dr. Stacy or sign up under my thing. The X39 patch resets your stem cells, resets your DNA. It's an amazing patch. Eon is great for inflammation, both internally and, both mentally and physically. Some of the other patches are very good. X49 is a sister peptide of the copper peptide that is stimulated by X39. These are not patches that put anything in your body. It's not like a nicotine patch. It reflects your own infrared heat back into your light, back into your body, and stimulates certain production. So it stimulates stem cell production, stimulates glutathione production. There's a carnosine patch that helps with mental things. There's all kinds of, if you're interested and you have issues, or you have special needs children, this is a technology that can do a lot. Okay, I mean, my experience is a lot. It's not necessarily a quick fix, but it is for me. It's been remarkable. It's really been remarkable, of kind of reversing my age and keeping me spry, so I can jump around on the rafters out there. All right. So anyway, so let me just do a quick little video. I think this is Dr. Stacy. Hold on a sec. Where is that? And then I want to talk about the market a bit.
Clinical studies, really the earliest we start to see something what I would say is significant is around that 6-week mark. And you may not feel this, but this is what's happening on the inside. We see the cardiovascular system functioning younger, 2 months younger than it was before. You can measure the age of your cardiovascular system. That's very common. check with your cardiologist. They'll tell you exactly how old your heart is, how old your vascular system is. So we can see at 6 weeks that it's reversing its functionality by 8 weeks. Compound that over time. And that's where we see big changes in people's cardiovascular system, which we know is the number one killer heart disease is. So we want to keep this ticker young and healthy and youthful. When we look at
So that's just one thing, but there are particulars to this. But if you haven't tried the Lifeway patch, we invite you to join us, become a brand partner, share it with others if you like. I think Michael Jaco also talks about this a bit. It is. I actually saw him at one of the at the boot camp at the Lifeway boot camp. But it's an amazing technology, and we appreciate everyone who has joined us on this mission. I just heard from one of my friends that started with the X39 that she doesn't have the kind of panic attacks that she used to have. So anyway, so that's that. But we see, I'll be doing more on that in the future. At any rate, I wanted to get to that because I wasn't able to do it last night when everything fell apart on the channel. Let's go to the thought stream with this idea that we are in a phase of this war where things are coming to a kind of a climactic point. I think with the arrest of Maduro in Venezuela and the active collapse of this radical Islamic regime and the nullification of borders. President Trump is saying no. Greenland is with us. The creepazoids had broke us into all kinds of different territories and countries and had us all confused. But hey, Casey, but that's not the case right now. I think things are coming to a kind of especially with Davos tomorrow and the press conference. President Trump, he looked a little tired. Apparently he works 24/7 and flying around all the time at his age. I mean, it's talk about staying young and spry. He's really doing an amazing job saving the world. So let's look at some of the thoughts from again. If anybody has any great at buying popcorn tomorrow, I think it's close. I think so too. That's a good comment. Yeah, and Daniela, did you see that comment? I hope you did. He says I'm buying popcorn tomorrow. I think it's close because I happen to be a very big fan of. I'm not. Danielle's always saying, "Oh no." She doesn't like me eating popcorn because it's not a supernatural whatever it is. But I have to. We live off grid. We eat a very pure diet. Everything is organic, and we live kind of a carnivore, animal based diet. We're growing a lot of our own fruits and vegetables, and we will eventually, as we become more acclimated to this situation. We just bought a bunch of fruit trees, and I'm a gardener, and I really love growing things. We'll probably eventually have chickens, maybe some goats. I don't know in the future, but I think it's close to. It feels that way to me. Japan, I think. Okay, so the fact that Japan is, and the stock market went down 800 points today. Not to mention crypto was way down. None of this makes me feel like selling. I don't sell my crypto, but I also don't own any Bitcoin or Ethereum. So you guys know. Crimit Limao, green face smiling. Yeah. Chorus Katie Snobs. Yeah. All right. Back at you, Casey. All right. So let's go with some hardcore. Let's just look at my channel for a moment. Some of the things that I've reposted. Let's see. James O'Keefe. So, World Economic elites openly admit they're using chemicals that are being sprayed into the atmosphere to cool the planet and even onto the food supply. Davos, the collapse of globalism. That, I think, is what is happening. President Trump has announced that he plans to issue $2,000 tariff dividend checks to middle class Americans without congressional approval. That would definitely be nice, man. What Trump now says Maduro is in custody. His lawyers have learned some things about Venezuelan voting software and possible 2020 election tampering. This is big. It is happening, man. I mean, James O'Keefe infiltrated, right? And BlackRock are behind the weather global manipulation. RFK Jr. was also right. It's DARPA. Okay, it's DARPA. That makes sense. Trump shares screenshots on Truth Social of accounts who go by John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Very nice. Okay. What an unbelievable moment. Ripple and BlackRock ties go way back, and it's all coming to be exactly true at Davos. The XRP lawsuit was theater. Holy shit. Ripple has pre-allocated part of the XRP escrow to BlackRock. That is a little frightening. However, I think from what I understand and what I've heard, BlackRock has already been taken down and they are history. So when they say BlackRock is in it with XRP, I mean, I'm an XRP, you know, it would be very hard for me to get to a point where I'm thinking that XRP is evil. That I've been holding on to XRP for many years. I've been scammed out of a lot of it. I rebuilt a bit, but I believe that XRP is the way of the future. I don't see Bitcoin or Ethereum. Let's delve a little bit more and see if there's some more information about the economy in the process of collapsing as we speak. Let's see. Okay, let's go back here. Right. All right. Let's go to the new. So copper is no longer a commodity; it's strategic. Okay. So the United States and Canada just hold just 10% of copper reserves. In a world electrifying everything, copper is no longer just a metal; it's strategic. Shortages don't trigger bidding wars; they trigger resource wars. Copper is in the wrong jurisdiction is a liability. Copper and safe, stable justification earns a trust premium, and the higher the grade, the larger the system, the greater that premium becomes. Why? Because copper grades are declining globally, making each new ton harder, slower, and more expensive to produce. The race is on. Let me just go up here for a moment. Inside paper 1 year ago, I stood in the majestic rotunda of our nation's capital. This is from President Trump has signed a proclamation declaring January 20th, 2026 as National Day of Patriotic Devotion. How nice. Macron won't join the Board of Peace. I'll just put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes and he'll join. But he's going to be out of office very soon anyway. So Trump knows a lot. Watch a globalist react to globalism being destroyed in real time by U.S. representatives at the World Economic Forum. Isn't Trump due to make an appearance in 2026? It could be one of the wildest speeches ever. This was... Right. It was a good speech. Fraud, invisible flood, Trump administration. Right. Wait till you find out all that they've done. Bring all your dinar. Okay, so that's definitely worth watching. I wonder if the people feel about President Trump in Greenland. Here's their comments. They're probably really happy. All the glory to God, pro-Trump, unvaccinated or realize now it was not good, are over 35, believe ICE is law enforcement. Yeah, interesting. Breaking, Trump walks out of the White House briefing room after speaking to the press for nearly 2 hours straight. The left's conspiracy theories about his help took a massive hit today. Look at this, silver price, $96. I mean, this is huge. White House officials disclosed that the United States is finalizing a staggering $700 billion cash offer to buy Greenland outright from Denmark, plus 100,000 lump sum payments for each of its residents, totaling nearly 706 billion. So at what point are we going to realize the enemy is within? China and Russia are the boogeyman when the real threat is the UN, NATO, and this religion. I put religion in quotes because it's not a religion, it's a cult. Yeah, I went there. Okay, so President Trump signs executive order to restrict Wall Street investors from buying single-family homes. That's old news. He said he's learned some things about the election software in Venezuela regarding the 2020 election after capturing President Maduro. It's becoming more and more likely it was a cooperative agreed capture. Maduro is singing. Okay, Maduro is singing about interference in the election. Subpoenas have been served at the offices of Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, Jacob Frey, mayor of Minneapolis, and Keith Ellison, Minnesota attorney general, as a result of their actions following the shooting of Renee Nicole Good, an anti-ICE agitator. Hot, hot, hot. House Republicans voted today to pass a proposal from President Trump to cancel a $9.4 billion 2026. I'm not sure what she's saying, but I like this woman. She says good stuff. Let's see what she says.
Got some wild news for you folks this afternoon, and if it looks like I'm reading, it's because I am. The Department of Homeland Security is notifying hundreds of thousands of Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, and letting them know that their temporary permission to live and work in the United States has been revoked and they should leave the country. A United States Senator was handcuffed today. U.S. Senator Alex Padilla of California was forcefully removed from a press conference today in L.A. held by the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Video shows the Democratic senator interrupting Ms. Noem as she begins to speak. He is then forcefully removed, handcuffed, yet he was not arrested nor detained. The House Republicans voted today to pass a proposal from President Trump to cancel $9.4 billion in previously approved federal funding. The rescissions package claws back $8.3 billion for foreign aid and $1.1 billion for the corporation public broadcasting. This is an effort by the Trump administration to codify the DOGE cuts.
Beautiful, beautiful news. Emmanuel Macron responds to President Trump at Davos while sporting sunglasses. I don't really want to hear it. They got caught, right? You must understand these are not ordinary circumstances. Trump and his team not only have to do everything by the book, but they also have to win the court of public opinion. If we're going to arrest the traitors, the public must understand before it happens. The public, this is very interesting, must be shown repeatedly until the reality registers and stays in their brains, not once or twice, but over and over again, to the point that they never forget and have no doubt. It must be so convincing and incontrovertible that it awakens them from their deep slumber. Decades of brainwashing cannot be undone overnight. It must be methodical and controlled. On the bright side, this unwashing operation has been underway for years, and we are closer to the end game than you think. President Trump has announced that he plans to issue 2,000 tariff, stopping Wall Street from competing with buyers. Powerful video. Bill Gates confronted at Davos for his COVID depopulation agenda crimes. Good morning and evening. XRP millionaires one day closer. It's not being an XRP millionaire, but somebody has to do. It's not easy being an XRP millionaire, but somebody has to do it. Legends. Davos, Switzerland, January 19th to 23rd, with Brad speaking on the 21st. Mid-February, Japan and South Korea. Okay, so it begins. Yeah, could this be Davos? I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. We've been seeing that motif for a long time. Commander in Chief Trump, stop it. If anyone's interested in the thread about the flying cities of Tartaria, interesting. Okay. Americans are being robbed at unimaginable scales in every single aspect of their lives. Stop being so damn busy and start paying attention to you, or your kids will have absolutely nothing. As the Democratic Party collapses, their rhetoric and aggression will escalate. Hold the line. Your children and grandchildren are depending on you. Oh, grocery stores, Danielle will love this. Grocery stores are currently under investigation because the mist on organic produce isn't water. It's actually full of chlorine and other pesticides to kill bacteria. Even organic food has pesticides in many grocery stores. That's outrageous. For 2 hours, just in special envoy and Russian Direct Investment Fund CEO Kirill Dmitriev met with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff for more than 2 hours. All right, so there's a lot going on. You think an industry that makes its money off of sick people is going to give you a free shot that's going to make you super healthy? Cheers to everyone not falling for the divide and conquer race war agenda being pushed on the U.S. Instead, we are uniting together to overthrow the true enemy, the government and mainstream media. The crypto market structure bill wasn't about banks versus crypto. It was about eliminating centralized middlemen. And the middlemen push back hard. Why? Because decentralization threatens their control, while community banks and credit unions empower people directly. Right? I'm not going to go into that one, but Mr. Poole posts is clear. Japan logo first Domino. Japan is consistently the largest foreign holder of U.S. debt. When Japan goes down, so will the fiat dollar. Japan's bond market just blinked. Japan's 30-year-old government bond yield surged 8.5% in a single session, a massive stress signal in the world's most indebted developed economy. Why this matters? Because Japan is the number one foreign holder of U.S. treasuries. Rising yields equal falling bond prices equal liquidity pressure. One obvious release valve, selling U.S. treasuries. If Japan sells, U.S. yields spike. The Fed steps in to buy. Money printing accelerates. Inflation leaks everywhere. This doesn't say localize, it ripples into the U.S. financial system. Silver over $95 suddenly makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is very interesting. You'll see it will happen quickly soon. They will all stand at the feet of the master and gently wag their tails. Everything will fall into place. Europe has no realistic response to President Trump wanting to annex Greenland. It's too important for the future of the United States, and we will have a president who understands that. And we have a president that understands that. It's only a matter of time. The empire is falling. All right, so that's I think that's really a good, let's see, a good kind of general take on what's going on right now. I want to have a few minutes before I have to go to another meeting, but things, to me, it just seems like everything is really happening fast. Hit the like button. Thanks, Wade. And thanks for being here, Wade. Yeah, I had a terrific time with your buddy, Brian Best. Don't forget Brian's Coffee Man, the best organic coffee around. Interesting about the vegetables, because Danielle has been, she will not let me buy organic vegetables that are being misted in the grocery store. She's like, you can't touch it. And she's right. I mean, she's basically always right, but I always fight her because that's just me, man. I'm just like, oh no, it's organic and it's okay. But no, she's always a step ahead, and she knows. By the way, I want to share Daniela's, is this it? Let's see. Daniela's Instagram, because when we get 1,000 viewers on her Instagram will go live on Instagram as well. So we would really appreciate it if you guys would join Daniela and on her it's really our Instagram channel, because I think I'm live on some kind of Instagram channel now, but
No, you're not.
no, I'm not. Okay, so I'm not. So we want to go live, but you have to have 1,000 followers. So we'd really appreciate if you guys join up. Anyway, everything is lining up into place. I don't think anything can stop what's coming. It's just one thing after another. I was so pleased to meet on the phone Don Martin, who was totally sympathetic to the idea that the chemtrails are trying to kill us. Let's, it's not even a question. We know what they're capable. We know that they're desperate. We know that their empire is falling, and they're going to try everything they can to take out as many of us as they can. So call 911. Say to somebody, there are a bunch of pilots in the sky. They're trying to kill me. Can you help? Can you come over right away? I mean, you have some kind of influence over these people. If it's the military, I doubt that. I think it's DARPA. It's DARPA itself, the evil empire, the evilest part of the evil empire. These satanic XXXXX. I won't go into the whole litany of how disgusting they are. Just another reminder, hit the like button. Yeah. So let me, and all Daniela, yeah, her beautiful face. She likes the lifestyle channel because she's all about health. She's like, to live with her is it's like living with a health teacher. She's just constantly correcting me and telling me not to eat the popcorn. She was willing to surrender a bit on the popcorn. We make our own popcorn. It's organic popcorn. We make it from scratch. We're in a big pot. But for a while, she wouldn't let me eat popcorn. And then I gave in and I said, okay, I'll put melted butter on it. And then for a while, she was okay with that because she's okay with butter. Butter and meat, fatty meats. This is a carnivore kind of thing. Using, like Dave at Keto Carnivore uses tallow, beef tallow, instead of seed oils, which are dangerous. Seed oils are dangerous to your health. They say all natural seed oils. It's like, really? There's a lot of misinformation, but I think we're coming into the promised land. So let me play a tune, and we'll.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Move into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control, left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Well, thanks everyone for coming tonight, and thanks for supporting us with the LifeWave patches. We really appreciate it. We all need to work on our health, on our wealth, and we can do it. We're going to, just by so many people starting to think about it and noticing it and being outraged about the chemtrails, it will come. It will disappear. DARPA will have to give it up. I mean, the evil force that is DARPA, the evil empire, behind these intelligence bodies, behind the deep state that are basically worshiping demonic entities and practicing satanic rituals. It goes far deeper. The rabbit hole is far deeper and far more disgusting than any of us can really fathom, because it's so sick. So anyway, but we're coming into, like, the new age is just, it's there. I can taste it. I could feel it. It's happening all around us. Everyone is waking up. We're coming into this incredible era of prosperity, of great health, of great food, of replicators, of advanced technology, no more wires and all this other stuff. It's going to be amazing. And it is amazing. I mean, you just have to, like, it's not even you have to wait. You just have to know that you are the one, and that you can manifest whatever it is you really want to dream about. Whatever it is that really makes you tick, you should be doing now, or you should be researching it. You should be thinking about it. You should be speaking about it. And that's how things come into this reality. Through our imagination, through our desires, through our research. This is how you manifest things. And really, the most important thing is to do action, is to do things. Get on Zillow if you want a new house. Get a new job. Get it. Whatever it is, do it. And that's, from my experience, that's the key to manifesting miracle after miracle. Just do it. Don't think about it so much. Don't worry about it. Don't let the demon of doubt get into your brain. Just keep going. Anyway, may the force be with you. May you realize that you are force itself. You are the one. You are Neo. You are the savior of mankind, and certainly the savior of your own Daladamos, your own world. That's all you have to do is save yourself. That's called tikkun olam, which means how do you repair the universe? You don't have to go out and shout from the treetops or stand on a soapbox. All you got to do is really make your world a better place, one step at a time. Don't try to do, don't go for too much. To me, the manifestation process requires just doing the next thing and enjoying it, loving every bit of the journey. So may source be with you. May you realize you are a creative source and nothing can stop you. Once you put your mind to something, you are unstoppable. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about permission. Don't worry about if it makes sense. Just go for it. And let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the